We're back with Grizzly Connect. Bryant Johnson hanging out with Johnny Mercer, redshirt freshman with the ASC men's soccer program. 3 goals in his first 5 games for a redshirt who sat out the entire season last year after once again tearing your hamstring. When you're supposed to be a key contributor to a team your true freshman year, and then you have to redshirt, how does that differ from what many of your teammates told you their redshirt freshman year was like when they weren't expected to contribute?
Oh, it was a tough season last year. We didn't have too successful of a season overall, and it's pretty tough sitting on the sideline when you feel like you could be out there helping the team produce a little better.
When you're sitting out and you're also unable to participate in the practices, which a lot of redshirt freshmen can do, what does that do to your confidence and concentration?
Yeah, it's tough to take a year off. Just sitting out, it's tough to get the motivation for keep coming back every day, but you put in the work in the training room instead of the practice field, I guess you could say, and eventually you just keep hoping and keep doing the work, and you'll eventually be back out on the field.
One of the reasons why this has been such an exciting year for Johnny and Coach Busen is because you came from one of the most prestigious high schools from a soccer tradition standpoint in the state, didn't get any looks. You're on a great team, did your job well, but for whatever reason the offers didn't come. And then to have the injury last year, it's like everything was piling up on you. But why don't you take us back to that year in between your senior year of high school and when you arrived on campus, and how Coach Busen found you?
Well, actually, I always wanted to play college athletics, but it didn't seem – I had a lot of success with my club and high school careers, but it didn't seem that it was – going to work out for me, and so me and my friends put together a team, and we just play for fun on the weekends. And Tim Busen randomly showed up on one of the games on the weekend, and I scored 4 goals in the first half, and we won the game 4-0, so he decided to pick me up after that.
Johnny Mercer chatting with us, ASC men's soccer. The best part about the story is that Coach Busen was ready to head back to Alamosa, and that he was driving by the field, saw a bunch of guys playing in a very unorganized setting with no coaches or parents or anybody really looking on, and just decided to show up. How often have you thought about that moment and how your career and life would have gone differently if randomly Tim Busen doesn't just pull up and check you guys out?
Yeah, it's a pretty funny story. Just because I was already set, kind of decided that it just wasn't going to work out, that college soccer wasn't meant to be my thing. So it's a pretty funny story because I wouldn't be here today if he wouldn't have just randomly showed up one day.
Now, of course, through the first 5 games, 3 goals for Johnny. I'm also curious, I mean, you missed last year with the injury. That had to affect your snowboarding career in the winter. What kind of challenges persist for a guy who's very active? You love golf, you love snowboarding. What was that like in the off-season, being unable to do a couple things that you love to participate in?
It was tough. I only got to snowboard about 4 days last year, and I'm used to usually pushing like about 30 days a year, so made for a long, cold winter up here in Alamosa.
When you're healthy and you've experienced multiple injuries, you had a back injury in high school, 7th grade you tore your hamstring, both on your right leg, then you tear it again last year. I mean, clean off the bone. When you're healthy and you're thriving, how much more enjoyable is it? And when you're really looking to cherish these moments, how much more of a perspective do you have in your health?
You definitely take it for granted when you're playing every day and you don't have to put in the work in the training room, and you play every day. And this year it makes me realize that how fragile your career can be, where one day you're playing college soccer, and the next day, you wonder when you're going to come back, if you're even going to come back, maybe.
Johnny turns 20 in January, so technically, would be that late sophomore season. But now, as a freshman with 4 years of experience, when you step onto the scene and succeed immediately, how does that change your aspirations as a player?
It's fun to know that you still have 4 years left, where as some of the other guys who you came in with only have 3 years. So it's nice to have that extra. You get that extra year, and you can make it happen for one more year.
Team is really grooving right now. I mean, back-to-back rankings in the top 10, first time in school history. That's happened for regional rankings. You get the conference win against Colorado Christian last weekend. When you have a strong non-conference season and you follow up with a really impressive win against a team that you beat last year, but still a conference opponent, when you do that so early in the year, how does that change the ability of your team to really strive for season-long success?
It helps a lot. Last year we got off to a rough start, and that didn't pave the way for success, whereas this year we're making things happen early. We're scoring goals, we're defending well, we're getting some wins and getting some points. So, you know, the confidence is a lot higher to start the season, which is going to help a long way for the rest of the year.
I'm not sure if this was ever an issue growing up because, I mean, the man has been dead for 35 years, but when you have the name Johnny Mercer, Mr. Capitol Records, is that something that teammates even razz you about? I mean, it's such an old standard for a name to be kind of known for.
Yeah, I don't really know much about the Johnny Mercer, really. And I don't think any of my teammates really know about him either, to be honest.
I was trying to have this conversation with our sports information director before we came on about how great of a talent he was, and apparently it's just lost on our generation. Maybe I'm the only person who admires the Johnny Mercer. So with 3 goals in 5 games and with the aggression that Coach Busen has asked from you, playing up front, playing in the middle, and really trying to attack, what is the limit for your ability here? I mean, 4 goals in 1/2, that's how you get picked up. 3 goals in the first 5 games. What kind of goals do you have for the amount of total goals you won on the year?
I haven't even set any idea as to what my goal for the team is. I know our team goal is to score 15 goals this year, so that's kind of, I mean, it looks like we should surely get that after 7 goals as a team in 5 games. So I'm more focused on, you know, the team success as opposed to it's too early to think about what totals I'm personally going to put up by the end of the year.
Hey, healthy, succeeding, and so is the team. It's got to be a great time to be in your shoes and for your team. Johnny, thanks for chatting with us.
Thank you.
Redshirt freshman Johnny Mercer with the ASC men's soccer program. More to come on Grizzly Connect.